Greene's. The 48 Laws of Power. Laws 41, 42, and 43. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. And Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power cuts deep into the raw mechanics of influence, ambition, and survival in a world of rivals, legacies, and hidden agendas. These 3 laws form a potent cluster. One warns against the trap of inherited glory, another teaches surgical disruption of opposition, and the third reveals the seductive art of voluntary loyalty. Together, they arm you with strategies for carving your own path, neutralizing threats efficiently, and building power that endures because people want to follow you. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Core idea, Greene's wisdom. What happens first always appears better and more original than what comes after. If you succeed a great man or have a famous parent, you will have to accomplish double their achievements to outshine them. Do not get lost in their shadow or stuck in a past not of your own making. Establish your own name and identity by changing course. Slay the overbearing father, disparage his legacy, and gain power by shining in your own way. Greene hammers home a brutal truth. The original is mythologized. Successors look like pale imitations. Expectations crush you before you begin. History is littered with sons, heirs, and appointees who faded because they tried to fill legendary shoes instead of forging new ones. Historical fire. King Louis XV of France inherited the son King's Louis XIV colossal legacy. He tried to emulate the grandeur and absolutism, but came off as weak and indulgent. The court decayed, resentment brewed, and the French Revolution eventually devoured the monarchy. Contrast this with Alexander the Great. His father, Philip II of Macedon, was a military and political titan. Alexander didn't just continue, he broke the mold. He invaded Persia, spread Hellenism, and created an empire that dwarfed his father's. He changed course dramatically, created his own symbols, and became larger than the predecessor. Modern parallels and hot application. Think of celebrity kids who flame out trying to copy mom or dad's exact vibe versus those who pivot hard. In business, the founder's successor often struggles unless they radically rebrand or disrupt. Steve Jobs' shadow loomed over Apple post-return. Tim Cook succeeded by owning operations and ecosystem depth instead of trying to be the next visionary showman. Keywords: legacy trap, shadow of greatness, forge new identity, slay the father figure, originality bias, break the mold, establish personal mythology. Power move. If you're stepping into any big role, CEO, leader, public figure, publicly signal a new era, change symbols, direction, and aesthetic. Distance yourself strategically. Create your own legends. Never compete directly on their turf. Redefine the game. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Core idea, Greene's wisdom. Trouble can often be traced to a single strong individual, the stirrer, the arrogant underling, the poisoner of goodwill. If you allow such people room to operate, others will succumb to their influence. Do not wait for the troubles they cause to multiply. Do not try to negotiate with them. They are irredeemable. Neutralize their influence by isolating or banishing them. Strike at the source of the trouble, and the sheep will scatter. This is Greene at his most ruthless and practical. Groups rarely rebel en masse without a catalyst. Remove the head and the body fragments. Hesitation lets the poison spread. Historical fire. Chao Kuo, advisor to Chinese Emperor Jing, stirred unrest with aggressive reforms. Opponents targeted him. He was executed, and the rebellion lost its unifying force and collapsed. In corporate or political contexts, Greene cites cases where one toxic influencer rallies malcontents. Cut that person out, isolate, demote, expose, exile, and the discontent evaporates. Hot application. Today, office politics, that one vocal complainer who poisons Slack channels or team morale. Don't debate endlessly. Document, isolate via reassignment or remove. In movements or social circles, influencers drive drama. Target the source surgically. In rival groups, identify the charismatic leader and undermine their credibility or position. The followers often drift or turn on each other, like Alexander's generals did after his death. Keywords: target the source, neutralize agitator, isolate poison, decapitate opposition, sheep mentality, prevent contagion, surgical strike. Power move: train your eye to spot the stirrer early, the dissatisfied one who recruits others into grievance. Act decisively but quietly. Public drama feeds them. Quiet neutralization starves them. Once gone, the group often self-corrects or becomes easier to lead or influence. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Core idea: Greene's wisdom. Coercion creates a reaction that will eventually work against you. You must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. A person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn. Soften up the resistant by working on their emotions, playing on what they hold dear and what they fear. Ignore the hearts and minds, and they will grow to hate you. Force breeds resentment and eventual backlash. Seduction creates willing allies who feel they chose you. Appeal to self-interest, emotions, vanity, fears, and aspirations. Make them want what you want. Historical fire. Talleyrand, the master diplomat, survived multiple French regimes by charming, seducing, and aligning with the emotional currents of each era. He worked on hearts through flattery, shared interests, and subtle manipulation of desires rather than brute commands. Greene contrasts this with coercive rulers who faced constant plots and revolts. Hot application: leadership, sales, dating, politics, same principle. A boss who inspires vision and personal gain gets discretionary effort. A tyrant gets quiet quitting or sabotage. In relationships or negotiations, understand their psychological weak spots: status hunger, fear of missing out, desire for belonging. Frame your ask as fulfilling their deepest wants. Build emotional connections first. Logic follows. Keywords: seduction over coercion, emotional leverage, self-interest appeal, psychological softener, loyal pawns, win hearts, voluntary compliance. Power move: map people's emotions and incentives. Mirror their values. Stroke egos strategically. Paint a future where helping you elevates them. Never rely on raw authority long term. Seduce continuously. As Greene implies, this turns potential enemies into invested supporters. Interwoven wisdom, the power triad. These laws flow together like a strategic symphony. Law 41 frees you from the past so you can create your own aura. Law 42 clears active threats efficiently so your new path isn't sabotaged. Law 43 ensures people actively support your vision instead of resenting or resisting it. Greene's overarching philosophy here is cold realism. Power is never given freely. It's taken through understanding human nature's weaknesses, pride in originality, susceptibility to group dynamics, and hunger for emotional validation. He quotes and draws from history to show that those who master these dynamics, Alexander, savvy courtiers, adaptable diplomats, build lasting influence, while those who ignore them, Louis XV, hesitant leaders, Coercive tyrants crumble. Practical synthesis, hot take. In your career or personal empire building, first break free of any predecessor shadow by radically differentiating. Scan your environment for stirs and handle them decisively before infection spreads. Then, relentlessly seduce stakeholders. Make your success feel like their success. This combination is lethal. Unique positioning, clean opposition, and a base of willing followers. Apply ruthlessly, but with elegance. As Greene teaches across the book, power favors the perceptive operator who moves with the grain of human psychology rather than against it. These laws aren't for the faint-hearted. They're for those ready to claim what they desire in a competitive world. These laws reward study and reflection. Reread Greene's originals for the full historical depth and transmutability into modern battles. On the next video, we will be looking into laws 44, 45, and 46. Law 44's message is disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Law 45's message is preach the need for change but never reform. Too much at once. And 46's message is never appear too perfect. Thank you for your time and attention. On your way out, click on the like thumb. And while you are at it, this is a good time for you to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a message. Tell us your thoughts. Let your friends and family know about this channel and the information we are making available. This is Earl. Always continue to grow. Be loving. I will see you on the next video. And when the time is right, visit The Wisdom of Jung, Machiavelli, Buddha, and the Stoics channel for an unparalleled eclectic collection of ancient and modern wisdom.